4, 3, 2, 1. It's time to count down reality TV's most talked about moments with Amanda Bella. Hey everybody, welcome back to Bella Talks TV. This is me, Amanda Bella Perio, and I can finally really say that with my whole chest because I just got married. And I feel so bad because before I left, I really was like, okay, I'm going to be able to balance getting married and going on my honeymoon and like pre-recording some episodes and having content. And honestly, the Housewives drought, they've called it, of 2024 has been at the best timing for me because I really was able to just focus the last couple of weeks on having my destination Las Vegas wedding. I went to Italy for my honeymoon. And now I'm actually back in Florida. If you are watching me on my video, you'll see that I'm in the Florida apartment here. And Candy and I are just hanging out here together. We have a few things that we're going to be finishing up this season down here. It's May, 5th or 6th today. And I just am going to get back into recording again on Mondays. And I think that's a good time for people to start their week, getting a roundup of what's been going on. And as you know, Bella Talks TV, if you're here before or if this is your first time watching, this is a countdown show. So my goal every week is to give you a top 5 countdown of basically the most talked about moments on reality TV, not just Bravo, but any other, major reality TV moments, even social media reality TV moments, things that are going on current time. We are going to be talking about. So I'm glad you're here. And it's a beautiful day here in South Florida. I'm happy to be down here again and just getting some sun on top of all of everything I've had going on. I was also sick, so I've been calling it the podcasting flu. I know that there's a couple other podcasters that I listen to here in this atmosphere, and I'm sure that you do too if you've found me. I'm not going to call them out. I don't want to HIPAA violation anybody and talk about anybody's health, but there were a few other podcasters I know that were only able to put out, an episode or haven't been able to record either because there's been a lot of problems, sinus infections, allergies. Not sure if I won't even say the C word because I'm scared even if I put this on YouTube, I don't want to get flagged for talking about like health related items here, but I just want to say that you should be taking care of yourself. I definitely was running myself totally rampant all over the globe, literally. And even just between being on the flight, messing with my sinuses. I'm already somebody that suffers from seasonal allergies and things like that. So anyways, you guys are here to hear about what's been going on in Bravo. Of course, I have a lot of opinions and thoughts about what's been going on because it never stops. It is a cycle that never ends. Even when I was across the globe at like the Trevi Fountain, I was thinking about Bravo. So it just never leaves you. And that's why I knew I needed to get back to this and being here with you guys every week, because I also realized too, when I wasn't with, when I didn't podcast for a month, it's like not going to therapy for a month. And then you have so much to catch up on, things that have been going on. Because like I said, the globe just keeps spinning. So let's get right into what's really been happening. I want to still always, again, if this is your first time here, there's a few different little segments I like to do during the show. One thing is my OMG and my LOL of the week. So if you are a Married at First Sight fan, I like to talk a little bit about what goes on over there. And the Denver season just wrapped up. It was atrocious. It was, I think, the first time ever that all 5 couples got divorced. So it was a really bad season. Sorry to spoil it if you haven't seen it, but the whole thing is over now. The reunion already aired. Like if you haven't seen any of that yet, that's on you, but go watch it. It's still a really good dramatic season. I cannot believe some of the stuff that was going on over there. But one thing that, again, it's been so many seasons. I think that did I have a fever dream that they announced that Chicago's the next city? Like, that's going to be such a good season. So anyways, if you have not seen that yet, go on the Lifetime app. I'm always plugging the apps. That's how I watch all my stuff. I stream. I have every single login to every single app and I just stream everything. So Go on the Lifetime app, catch up with Married at First Sight. It's a really good binge. And I think that you'll really like the drama on that whole season. One thing, just getting warmed up here, I want to just like have one stream of consciousness for this episode and just see what comes out, because again, it's been like a month since I've done this. And you're already a godsend for being here on this journey with me, because it might be a little bit rough at first, but I just love podcasting. And I was really thought about this a lot when I was gone, and just thinking about like why I care so much about doing this. And it's really a big part of it is the community that comes with it, and just being able to be supported within everybody who's considers this kind of like a hobby, a little art form, whatever they like to do, a side hustle, whatever they consider their part in this, this cog in this machine is. We're all important and we all bring different things to the table. And it's just like respect for showing up, respect for just putting yourself out there. I often think about what it would be like to be like an artist who had like an art gallery opening, or even what it would be like to be a radio personality that is paid to talk about current things every single day, like on the radio to thousands of people in their area. Like it's just interesting, the different avenues of things that people do this to either express themselves or have as a job, or just the whole community. And I know that it's like, okay, cool story. Something such a millennial, like really late to the YouTube game, and just what it's like to, I guess, have these channels and have people putting themselves out there just as themselves and in their homes, and just going over their thoughts. And it's just a really interesting way to connect with people all over the place, and that are having either similar thoughts as you, or also having the complete opposite thoughts as you, and just engaging in the discord of that. There's a few shows that I've really been happy to like avoid talking about this last month, because even though I was not recording and putting episodes out, I was still paying attention no matter where I was. If I was in Vegas getting married, or if I was in Rome on my honeymoon, like I was still thinking about Carl and Lindsay and this whole hot mess going on at the summer house. And I was still thinking about the upcoming Real Housewives of New Jersey premiere, which actually was last night. So we are going to talk about that. And just these things are stuff that I was still thinking about. So I'm like, let me get back to talking about it, and spending a little bit more time, hopefully not just on here talking about this myself, but bringing more guests on. I've really been trying to put myself out there more with collaborating with other people. I like to guest on other people's podcasts too. So I'm going to try to just be putting myself out there more. And it's like a safe space when you just are by yourself and you can just ramble, and you can just, there's no one like pushing you on your opinions, unless you're in the comment section afterwards. But in this moment, it's just me. So I want to bring in more of somebody, going through my top 5 countdown with me and giving their opinions as well. So we'll just see where this goes. But again, I should have way more time to spend dedicating to being here every week. I want it to be very consistent, and I want everybody to really just, get to know me as a person too. Like I said, this is kind of an outlet and a community as well. So it's not like I'm just coming on here. I'm not really like a gossiper, and I'm not really trying to come here and I don't just have drama going on this channel. It's just for me to come talk about stuff that I watch and give some opinions and hopefully make some friends and have fun with this. So again, I always get that little spiel before I get started. So let's get into my OMG and my LOL of the week. So I have to talk about the Selling Sunset OC, the entire season. So if you're not a freak like me, I know there's a couple other people I've seen already that have watched the whole season. It just came out on Friday. So 3 days ago, Netflix dropped season 3 of the Selling the OC franchise. And, Selling Sunset, that's a beast of its own. Unfortunately, if you haven't been following that story with Christine Quinn and her husband, it's really heartbreaking, and trigger warning. It is really sad with domestic violence, what's been going on in her home. And it's just really unfair. Like, nobody should ever be made to feel unsafe or like they can't, live in their own home. Like, that is the scariest thing ever. And, I just really hope that she's going to be okay and that she does take this seriously. And I hope that she doesn't just try to pretend like it's not going on. Also for the sake of like her child and stuff too. But thinking about Selling Sunset as well. But Selling the OC, this season is very messy. I'm going to try not to give everybody too many spoilers because if you haven't seen it yet, it's like I realize it's only been out for 3 days, but a lot of people I know have already watched the whole season and a few main parts of what's been going on. So one, Kayla is like she's the main chick this season. She's the one coming up, getting the biggest listings, kind of causing the most waves in the office. One thing that goes on is like her and Alex Hall have an ongoing feud. They seem, to be the biggest frenemies on the franchise. So they always have this thing bubbling underneath. Alex goes on a podcast, says some really foul things, which I don't agree with, but I can't help it. You know how you just can't help who you fall in love with? Like you can't help what reality stars are just like your people. And I know Alex Hall is very polarizing, but that's my girl. I can't explain it. I love her. I love her style. I love her even as like mom goals, even though, she's divorced and I can't imagine like as somebody who just got married. Like I don't even like to even, I don't even want to say the word like divorce, but I don't want to wish it upon anybody. I don't want to talk about anybody's divorce. I don't want to even like put it out there, but it seems like she, doesn't just, I don't know. I just really like the way that she carries herself. She's close to her family and I just like her. So whatever, sue me. And, she's not even the most of the drama this season. Her and Kayla, they have their tiff going on. And then another thing that just comes out of left field is Austin and his wife, Lisa, they have the little twin daughters. Okay, like they're hot. They're like a hot young couple. I mean, I know as an East Coast, like Midwest person, I know things that go on in the West Coast. Like I've heard, what myths and wives' tales that come from the West Coast. But I think that things do just go down over there that for people that either are socially climbing or things that are just more acceptable in the group settings, certain parties for just way the things go out there. And, not trying to generalize or anything like that, but it's just different. And so I don't know, when they first brought up, okay, like they could be into having threesomes and stuff, I'm like, okay, like maybe, I don't know. I guess never say never. But the specific thing about Austin truly, like I said, spoiler alert again, but Austin truly being the one that is the driving force between wanting to hook up with Sean, the whole situation was really, I don't know. And I think that the way that the fight goes down at the office and how producers, it was like the most like reality TV moment I've ever seen on any of these Adam Devine shows, on The Hills, on The City, on any of the other seasons of Selling Sunset, Selling OC. It just really was a very real scene. You could feel it through the screen, like that there was just so much rage in between them and like something went down. So there's just a lot of like little random storylines this season. So you kind of have to just tune in to get the full story and form your own opinion about what you guys think happened. Leave it in the comments if you have a strong opinion either way about what you think happened between them. Lisa specifically, the cookies, the brownies, whatever she made. I don't even know. I need to go back and like watch again and see even form my own full opinion about what's going on. But yeah, in the end, it was a pretty good, easy to watch season. Like I said, I just binged it real quick yesterday, threw it down on a Sunday. Still recovering from being sick a little bit, but doing my best to get back into the swing of life because I don't want it to keep me down. I have things to do. It is spring. It is May. Today it is going to be the Met Gala. Today's the first Monday in May. This is a reality TV podcast, but I just wanted to say, like, I love fashion and I love the Met Gala and I love tuning in to the red carpet. And if I was in New York this weekend, I totally, if I was feeling up to it, would have went down there and tried to like stand outside the carpet and at the stairs at the Met and just watch as a pedestrian, as a plebeian, and just be out there with like the regular people and just see if I could get pictures of people, but I'm not. So I'm in Florida and I'm happy to be here. But anyways, the whole OMG is the new season of the Selling the OC. Go watch, because that scene with Austin and Tyler at the office, or sorry, Tyler's in the drama too, but with Austin and Sean, the three of them, they're covering up something. So that was a really good season. And okay, so onto my LOL. I kept thinking, like, okay, I've been having to catch up on a lot of TV, obviously. Even the whole week that I was in Italy, I didn't get to watch any current seasons. I was just seeing on Instagram what was going on in the Bravo sphere and getting an idea on the clips and stuff that were being posted. But I tried to wait until I got home to really watch all the episodes of everything going on and see what I had missed. And I missed the Close Encounters episode of Summer House, where they have the Out of This World party. And I have to say, I have never laughed so hard at that scene where they have the spotlight. They're all dancing at the party outside, and it's like party scene. People are like drinking lover boys and dancing and whatever is going on, taking shots. And then all of a sudden it's like Kyle and I don't know if it's Amanda or if it's Kyle and Lindsay and whoever, but anyways, they start having the spotlight shown on them, kind of like a UFO is beaming them up, and they're dancing under it, and they're doing like weird, like alien, like getting like like abducted dance moves. And all of a sudden, Lindsay's wig falls off. And like, no, it's Amanda and Paige are standing off to the side. And Paige is just like, oh no, they lost her wig. And Lindsay's like, oh no, I lost my wig. It is such a funny scene. I watched it like 50 times. So I think I posted a clip to my Instagram. And if I didn't, I'll make sure I go do that right when I'm done recording, because you have to see that scene again. It is so freaking funny. And another random thing that was going on in that episode is when they go out to the club the night before and they're at that place, Just a Bar, which again, if you're in the New York area, like I'm just throwing it out there. Like I love to go to the Hamptons. I'm a big Hamptons girly. Like I have a car, I'll drive us. Let's go. But I want to go to this Just a Bar place. And it looked so fun. And they're all dancing at the club. And they have that one scene where Danielle, Kyle, and Paige are standing in the area at standing at that round table. And in the background, if you go back and watch, like Carl's in the background with Lindsay's feet. Like if you're watching him in the videos, he's like, dee, like taking her feet. And like, there's just weird stuff going on in the background. The whole episode is really funny and random. And I've been enjoying Summer House a lot. I've really avoided talking about it too much because I know that my opinion goes back and forth. I see both sides. I'm still Carl leaning. I just don't, unfortunately. I think that he was producing a show, and for that, I understand why people are upset, is because he was not maybe being so authentic in the cameras and the way that he was setting up these storylines to make himself look so good. But like, it is Carl. And can you really blame him? I don't know. He's like using his platform for, his greater good. I'm sure that he was probably talking to producers a lot, and they were also coaching him on how to set these things up. It's not like they just like don't tell him like, hey, I'm going to have you guys come to the Jersey Shore for like no random reason. Like he sets these shots up with them, tells them, and then they like fly a crew there. Like it's not like random how this stuff just happens. I think that they're just really scandivaling. That's really like a term now, where they're just self-producing. Well, not even that. They're just using the cameras to really break the fourth wall and kind of like interact more with the audience in like a winking way, where you see like what's going on more behind the scenes, where reality TV back in the day was more of like an illusion that like, there's not even cameras here. Like this is not even like being filmed. It's like, okay, yeah, it is. Like it's pretty obvious, but now they're kind of like leaning more into it. I'm actually kind of into this whole like new wave of the Bravo sphere. I'm just enjoying the whole season as a whole. I have, again, strong opinions now as somebody who just had a destination wedding myself. Like there actually were people that we paid for that didn't come. I realize it's different when it's like a whole wedding and stuff, but it's like shit does happen. The whole idea, I don't know, their whole thing was just based on like lies. So to me, to see it crumble, I wasn't sad, and I was never somebody from the beginning who liked them together. So I do feel almost like vindicated in the fact that like I'm seeing it play out. I actually kind of felt the same way about Ariana and Tom in a weird way. It was like finally, like they were not happy. It doesn't excuse what he did, but they needed to not be together. So you almost are like, okay, yes, we're moving along here as society. We're not stuck in these relationships. Even with Brittany and Jax over on the Valley, we'll talk about that more, but that's a whole thing. So anyways, OMG, LOL of the week, Selling Sunset, OC, go watch Netflix, Summer House, season 8. I believe the reunion just filmed a few days ago. Today's Monday. It filmed on Friday, I think. So we're going to see what happened at the reunion. And I love Summer House. I don't know what I think about the future of it. I have previously talked about how I think that they should do a really cool spinoff where they are in Manhattan and it's more about, you know, the couples in the city. Then maybe Craig would maybe end up moving and then they could have like a little city show. I'm not sure what the future would be. I know people are really attached to the Summer House franchise. Also, if you're not watching Summer House Martha's Vineyard, I don't think I have that on here. To me, it's not like the best season ever, but like I really, really like the cast and I really like the concept in the show. And I like how they film it a little bit differently. And the fact that they are just there for like 2 weeks together filming and they're all trapped in the house and it took a different vibe. My favorites are Jordan and my favorite is Summer and Jordan. Those are my faves. Shanice, I'm liking more this season. I really like Preston and I'm loving that like Donald, his boothang fiance has been out there. Love them. And I don't need Phil and Mariah back. I think they brought them back. Just, I don't know. I didn't need either of them back. I really like Bria. I don't know. I think because I'm a dog person also that Bria and Milo are just, I don't know. I just love them. So I don't know. I'm just liking what's going on over there. So go watch if you're not. And yeah, let's get into my top 5 countdown of this isn't really, you know, in this specific last week, but just things that have been going on, overall points of view of things that I've been dying to talk about with you guys for the last few weeks. So the number 5 thing I have on my list is talking about how the Golden Bachelor is already divorced. Now, if you guys were listening to my podcast over the winter, like I was pretty invested in this show. And as somebody who I was not an original Bachelor franchise person, I didn't get really invested in The Bachelor until this season right after Nick Viall was on. I could not stand him to watch him as The Bachelor, but I got really into everything that happened afterwards. And so that included watching Bachelor, Bachelorette every season, and then also Bachelor in Paradise every season. And those are like the golden years because I don't know if there's 2 bad things going on with the Bachelor franchise. One, this Golden Bachelor divorce, which is really bad. Just, it's not a good look. I think that they're already filming the Golden Bachelorette. I just know that women are better as leads, and I think the show will just be better in general as the Bachelorette. So we'll see what happens over there. But I'm also really upset that there's not going to be a Bachelor in Paradise this year. Like, is that just a rumor, or is that been confirmed that we're getting no Bachelor in Paradise? I'm literally speechless. Like, the Bachelor franchise is the horse you would always bet on, as it's like it's never going anywhere. It's backed by ABC, Disney. It's got that Disney money. Like, it's just not going anywhere. I'm just confused. Is it because they aren't paying or taking care of people enough? I mean, to me, I would never be able to go down there. It's always like 1,000,000 degrees. They have to live with all those like little crabs in their beds. Like, I'm not into that. But I like watching other people do it. I want to watch it every season. I want to see really messy love triangles on the beach. And I love the fact that like the set must be so small. Like you can literally just see everybody's conversations and everything that's going on. I just love Bachelor in Paradise. Even just them coming down the stairs, being like, who's here? Like, damn it. So I'm not a Love Island girly, but I think I'm going to have to like convert, especially with Ariana being the new host over there. that actually brings me right into my number 4. So my number 4 most talked about thing that's going on in the Bravo sphere is Vanderpump Rules is taking a little breaky too filming. And I'm actually shocked with that too. So they always film every summer. We've historically always gotten Jax's birthdays, Tom Sandoval's birthday, Ariana's birthday, Stassi's birthday. They're all July. I'm a July baby as well. So I'm always like, wow, I love watching their birthdays every summer. We're not going to see any of Lala's pregnancy or birth. I think at this point, maybe the birth. Which another thing I haven't had a chance to talk about a lot is, I don't know, okay, I don't want to not sound like a feminist or a modern woman. I just am somebody who this is fine. Not everybody has to have the same viewpoint. So this is important for people to I do know that she is going to have a village around this child raising it, but it is crazy to not, I don't know. No, I don't know. I think I just come from a very traditional home where my parents have been married. They actually just had their wedding anniversary on May 1st, for 37 years. So, and they've been together, it's just, I just love my dad, and I understand that I am blessed in a way that not everybody has got to even have the choice to have a relationship with their dad. Maybe their dad has even passed away. I'm sorry to even talk about people that don't have dads when I don't know what it's like, trying to be self-aware in this moment. But I just can't believe that. I mean, Easton, her brother, which I also have had thoughts about. I know that that's going to be her uncle. Maybe Lala will fall in love. Ideally, she will fall in love still with somebody and get married. And then there will be at least a figure of some kind of figure. I just believe in the idea of having these roles helping the way that you develop in life. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, with saying that. I just don't. I think that it's different when you don't have a choice, but having the choice to bring this child into the world, not having any type of father figure, is just going to be interesting. I mean, but maybe I think it's great. I'm not saying it's not good. It's just interesting. And we're going to have to just see how it goes. I just know too, because of personal things that go on in my life, my family, things that I've personally witnessed, the importance of roles. We'll just see what happens. So anyway, they're taking a little pause. We're not going to see that. And it's very interesting. Sheena's been on my last damn nerve over there. Her and Brock both. Brock, I got the ick from a couple of weeks ago, which I never really died for him before, but now he's really gotten under my skin, and he just is such a little thirst monster, and I can't with him. So I've had enough of him. And then Allie and James, I'm still compelled by watching them play out their whole thing. I've been enjoying watching Rachel as a ghost season on this season. They talk about her. They bring things that are going on with her up. It's kind of she's on the show. She might as well have just been on the show. She basically would have gotten paid more, and she would have, I don't know, maybe if they are trying to forgive Tom, they probably could have forgave her. So she's probably kicking herself now that she did not just film and come back. So anyways, VPR, I support the pause. I'm interested to see what's going to happen when they come back. I'm wondering if Jax and Brittany, if they are going to get divorced. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's go into my number 3 most talked about moments that have been going on, because I was pretty impassioned during last Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season. If you watched any of my episodes that are already up, you will see what I'm talking about. That it's I'm not standing for anybody anymore. I think stan culture is dying, and I'm really trying to even catch myself from saying that. But I just am really working on looking at these people from a 360 point of view. And even when they make me mad, even when they do things I don't like, even when they are not, I don't even want to say being problematic, because there's definitely a line there that you cannot cross without, it's we all have to be held accountable. but Dorit just needs to come back. And so I think you guys know I was writing pretty hard for like not liking Crystal. And I'm also like, she just really found a way she just really got me going. She's out. And when she got fired, I don't know where I was, but I was with my husband and I was like, babe, oh my God, Crystal just got fired. Like one of my most hated, my arch nemesis, like one of my least favorite housewives just got fired. And I think I literally popped a bottle of champagne. Like I was so excited. And that's what I think I realized I needed to also keep this podcast going. I'm like, if this is what my life is like, and these are the thoughts that I have, I need to talk about this. But so she gets out, and then of course in my head though, I'm like, okay, I can't really like get too cocky yet, because if Dorit's out too, then it's like, okay, eye for an eye, and it's like, fine, whatever. But as of now, these rumors, all of these casting rumors that are going on with Beverly Hills, it's very interesting. So with Beverly Hills, they think either Dorit is going to be either gone or that she's been threatened to be, demoted to a friend of, which I would still take. I would gladly take Dorit still as a friend of, maybe even like her more as a friend of. But if she's not willing to talk about more what's going on with her and PK, and I love PK and Dorit. They're just one of my favorite couples on Bravo. Sorry, not sorry. Love them for many, many reasons that I can't even get into, but love them and love their little family. So I really want to continue to see them on the show in some capacity. I will understand if she has to go, and I will take it as my karma, maybe for getting too heated. One thing we've also been hearing a little bit about is Kyle. Is Kyle going to be also fired if she doesn't talk about whether or not she's with Morgan? Now, a few things that I think have been going on. One, they caught Andy in an interview saying, or on Sirius, on Radio Andy, saying that he would never fire her, basically. Like, they're never going to tell her, like, you have to go. So she's going to still be able to come back and just show what she doesn't want to show. But I'm sure the producers, and I'm sure Andy himself, is telling her, Kyle, if you do not talk about this and reveal what the truth is about what's going on with you guys, like, you are going to get completely annihilated, to the point where, like, it's how the Bravo, not just Bravo fans, but just how it's going to be, like, she's not going to be able to handle it. So another thing that's going on is that I think that there are rumors that Kyle and Morgan maybe have even broken up. So if she doesn't have to worry about filming with Morgan because they're not even together anymore, or whatever's going on with them is over, then again, of course she's going to be back. So if we have Dorit coming back as a friend of, we have Kyle coming back in this era of whatever she's in, I think we still got a show on our hands. Erica Jane, there's no rumors of her going anywhere. And like, love her or hate her, she is good TV. I watched Bet It All on Blonde. I think I famously said I would have loved to see that show. I'm sad I didn't see it in person in Vegas. So I hope that she's on tour again, and next time I'm going to catch her. And there doesn't mean that I support Tom and I like them, but I've been doing a rewatch because on the flight back from Rome, I could only download Netflix shows because Peacock was unavailable when I was in Europe. So I only had access to my Netflix, and they only have season 9 of Beverly Hills on Netflix. So I watched the whole season, and that was the Lucy Apple Juice season, which, sucked as a choice. But I wish it would have been the Amsterdam season, or even when they went to Japan. Like, there are just so many good ones. But this season was very long, and it starts with this whole dog, puppygate thing. And then it moved into them all the way, to them going to Provence. In the middle, they go to Baja Mar, which I'm staying at the same resort in like 2 weeks when I go there. I'm so excited to like rewalk. Even though I've stayed at Baja Mar before, I didn't recall that they went there. And now that I'm going back again so soon, that being fresh in my memory, I'm going to like remember every little place that they filmed, and I'm going to be excited to be back there. So amazing. I just am living my best little mini housewife life, going back to the same places that they just were. But I loved that season was crazy and messy, and like it just really revamped my love for Beverly Hills again. And I just need these women, and we need to get LVP back. I mean, that would be such an iconic season. And I don't know. We'll just see what happens. So I've been really interested in Beverly Hills. That was my number 3. Okay, and moving on to my number 2 most talked about moment of the week, and we have got to talk about the Valley. So I've been dying to get on the mic and talk to you guys about the Valley. There's so much mess and just pure drama over there. Another thing that just followed me and crept with me all through Europe. So I'm in Italy and we go to Capri for the day. And I just could not stop thinking about this entire, like, there were 2 or 3 full Capri themed episodes of fighting, of them all, the whole Valley cast. And it's just so funny, like Jesse loving Capri life and being so into that. Like when I was there, I'm like, why am I thinking about Jesse Lally and Michelle Lally right now? Like, when I'm trying to enjoy my honeymoon, this is what goes on in my life. But it was so amazing to be there. And it just made me laugh so many times, like, thinking about this show and what's been going on over there. So again, a huge culture that I kind of like meta always talk about on my show is how I listen to all of the other podcasters too that recap all of the shows. And it's just like this huge 360 point of view of like people in the community that also care about this stuff. And there are so many people talking about the Valley in the sense that of whatever's going on with Brittany and Jax, and just Brittany in general as a person. Like, she is just one of the most insane characters that we have got to witness on TV right now. And I talked a lot about Brittany when I did my Vanderpump Rules rewatch. The whole season of her getting cheated on in the Rotten House season and her getting married afterwards was insufferable. Like, it made me rewatching. Like, I do not like Brittany as a person. And I just I don't know. I don't know if I'm starting to learn about myself. Like, there are just certain characters that I am like semi-misogynistic for. But I just am a Jax fan. And it's making me, now that they're separated, it's making me even more like not like Brittany. So I know this is just my toxic truth, but I just watching them fight and whatever's going on with them, and between the facelift that the chin lipo, and then her accent being so strong, and just whatever has been going on over there, the whole situation is just fascinating. Again, I brought up Jesse and Michelle, and them too. The fact that Jesse and Michelle, live over by Chateau Marmont. She's just like hitting up the bar, hanging out there. Like, I understand that they are a real estate couple. And as somebody, like, who loves the idea of a power couple and stuff, it's like, I kind of loved that Jesse didn't really seem bothered by the fact that she was down there getting listings, hanging out with like rich men, because clearly it was good for their business, good for their family, good for contacts. And I'm kind of down with like how secure he was about that. People are really hating Jesse. Like, I again, like, I'm totally equal in Jesse versus Michelle. I think they're both like different types of monsters. But obviously Michelle's the one cheating, and I guess that maybe has crossed the line. He sounds like he's been pretty trusting of her, and he's actually been pretty secure in the fact that she's been working and doing whatever down there. So it's confusing to me I don't know. The whole thing is just very confusing to me. Now, do I like an aggro man? No. Do I like when any of these men, like Ariana has talked about on Vanderpump Rules with Brock, like this male rage that we see on Bravo? Do I like that? Absolutely fucking not. To be honest, I hate it, and I won't even talk about why I hate it, because that's how much I hate it, that I won't even allow myself to like even go there. So just know that I hate it and I do not support that. But I just believe that it's a very like real thing and part of reality TV and part of real life. And I'm glad that they show it. I'm glad that the producers do show these men flying off the handle and acting like total like douches, because we need to see that. They need to have the accountability of watching it back and having to go to the reunion or whatever. I mean, Andy could do better pressing them, to change and do things. You can't make somebody change. Look at Shep from Southern Charm, and how Shep, has self-proclaimed gone on, some retreats and done some things where he's trying to also like get his shit under control, because people are just sick of seeing season after season of these men like flying off the handle. So they got to get it under control. And if there's substance abuse and there's other things going on, like we've seen a lot of sober curiosity and some other fully sober members that are still on Bravo. So you don't have to be, it's like everybody struggles on their own spectrum with that. But anyways, Valley, and then Kristen, our Mariposa, Kristen and Luke. I have to say, I really die at all of the Vincent Van Gogh comparisons to Luke. I really don't like the idea that he just lives on like a plot of land in Colorado. He's not like a Denver boy. Like he is a woods plot of land, no electricity, no Wi-Fi. Absolutely not. So I would not want to live there either, Kristen. And so I saw something interesting that was that since it took the Valley so long to shoot and like kind of get greenlit and get cameras running, I guess it was about 2 years, that Kristen was so determined to try to have a kid already anyway on her own before she even met Luke at that wedding, started dating him, and then they started filming. So previous to her even meeting Luke, there is a rumor online that Zach was going to be willing to be her sperm donor and that he was going to go through that process. And then Kristen was just going to have the baby on her own. So if that is true, that's very, very interesting. It's very clear that Kristen, yes, it does not matter who the man is or where the sperm comes from. It's like great if she is in a relationship with him, but that's not a deal breaker for her. She just needs to have a child. So maybe via Lala, I don't know if maybe money wise or maybe just, I'm not sure if she doesn't have the agent to help broker her the deal that Lala got with the California Cryobank or like how that situation happened. But maybe Kristen should just do that. Maybe she should just do the same thing as Lala and Gigi. They talk about how Gigi and Lala unfortunately don't get together, don't like each other. They both went the sperm donor route, and they're both single mamas like that, which is cool. But they don't like each other, and I think it's because they're too much alike. And I was just talking about this, how Virgos, not to generalize, but Virgos can all have a very strong personality, similar to Lala, similar to Gigi. And now Lala was like specifically wanting to have a little baby that was going to also be a Virgo. It's like, enough. So no shade, but just saying. Anyways, that was my number 2, the Valley and that whole mess that's going on over there. And I'm just also not like a California girly, as you can tell. Like I'm just New York girly. So I think sometimes my opinions come out like that. And anyways, my number 1 most talked about moment I could not wait to talk about with you guys. And I specifically waited till this morning to put this together and record this episode because I need to talk to you guys about the Real Housewives of New Jersey return. I think again, just being an East Coast girly, I was so excited to get Jersey back on my screen. I actually even this is not sponsored. None of this show is sponsored, as you can tell. But I went and got Olive Garden, which is, I know, so basic, but I'm in Fort Lauderdale and it's not like it's specifically known for their Italian food down here. So I just was like, you know what, let me get Olive Garden. I'm going to get some lasagna and some spaghetti and have the breadsticks and salad and watch the Real Housewives of New Jersey premiere by myself. It was so delightful. And I loved every minute of the premiere. It was giving me everything I needed. And these pauses, like we talked about with Vanderpump Rules, are so important because I forgot how mad I was at last season of Louis, Bo Dietl, the whole situation. Teresa, the way she acted at the reunion to me was like, I got the ick. There were just a few things that happened that I know people don't agree with me on. But after spending time away from them, getting them back on the screen, even though they were still acting icky in the season premiere, I wasn't as bothered. I'm actually here again. I'm talking about more of this 360 view. I'm really trying not to get too attached to my own opinion or to my own point of view of what's going on. I'm trying to look at this more as entertainment this year. And I know that these are their real lives, and especially with Jersey, the blood runs deep. It is real people's families and things that are going on, but the stuff with the Fudas, them bringing John Fuda and Rachel Fuda in, what amazing casting. Okay, so let's just quickly, they talk about this in the premiere last night. John, his previous name was John D'Atria, so D'Atria. And apparently he was the biggest drug dealer in Bergen County of New Jersey, which is hilarious to me. I'm sure that he was not. I'm sure that he probably was pulled over with a joint in his pocket once and because he got a drug charge. Whatever. Anyways, he ends up going to prison. It's bad. It affected, I know that they have, the son, but they now have custody of the son. The mom's actually in prison. It just sounds like it was kind of not a great situation and a little bit of a broken home. and what was going on with them. So when they got married and John married Rachel, she gave him her last name. So then her name was Rachel Fuda already. And then they got married and he became John Fuda. And I think that was for the better so that he could, kind of have a start anew and just take over like that. So to me, it was kind of like a good move, but them talking about that and bringing it up, it's like, first of all, the kid's still not 18. And I do believe in the whole, like, you shouldn't be talking about the children rule of Housewives. So I don't like that they're talking about that. I don't like that they're talking about the lady that's in prison. I know that prison has been a topic on this show before. Teresa herself has been there. Her and John have that in common. They bond over that in this episode. So it's just, an interesting franchise compared to, say Beverly Hills. It's just totally different thing going on over in Jersey. So they have that whole situation going on. Louis makes a brief appearance. So he talks about wanting to talk to John and kind of clear things up with him because obviously Louis was using Bo Dietl, the private investigator, to get dirt on John by talking to his ex-wife that's in prison. So this shit, again, is crazy. So Louis is like, let me talk to you, John, and let me figure out what's going on. And they bring up how this is a tactic of most narcissists is isolating you and kind of getting you so that no one else is there to help you also see what the light is of what they're trying to do to you. And so I'm not really sure exactly what Louis's plan was as far as what he was going to say to John. But then John was like, no, I'm not going to come talk to you. I don't know if this is supposed to be off camera. But he basically was like, no, I'm not going to talk to you off camera, I think. He was like, I'll talk to you on camera when we're at the party that we're going to be filming that this weekend. And Louis decides to not come because he ends up having a business trip to Florida. And that's what Teresa says. Teresa's like, whatever, Louis has business. It's not like he's avoiding you, but he just couldn't come to the party. And we don't get to see this confrontation of John, but Louis basically is still confronted. Teresa still executes the plan, I think, of what was going to be said. And they are doubling down and standing by what they said. And it looks like that's really going to be a main plot of this whole season. It's going to be more Teresa versus the Fudas instead of Teresa versus the Gorgas, which will be a nice change of pace. But Teresa sounds like she's still in villain mode. So it looks like even Jen already so far is like, damn, you can tell that she's going to distance herself a little bit this season. Which I'm shocked because I thought Jen was literally ride or die, but she's not. I think she's seeing that oh shit, I need to make sure that I'm able to see both sides. Because without Teresa, there's no me. So we're gonna have to see how that all plays out. It's really gonna be an interesting season. I think it just started off with a bang. Everybody looks amazing. I just love them. Just love the New Jersey wives. I love that they're all, mostly family, really do have families. It's just different than some of the other housewives. So I like their whole vibe over there. So yes, the housewife drought is over. We have housewives back on our screens. We also have the Real Houses of Orange County is done filming. They're hoping to premiere in July. So hang on tight for that. Soon we will have that back on screen. Rumors are that Shannon Beador has still been drinking a lot. So we'll see how that plays out. Then we also have the Real Houses of New York is filming. And I loved the reboot. I'm excited to see these girlies back on screen. We have Rebecca Minkoff joining, which is part of the Scientology church. And a lot of people are having a lot of feelings about that. But I specifically I think it's important actually to have all of these different religions, including Scientology, represented. It's part of culture. It's part of society. It's part of basically the world. And I think it's you should be showing that this is what's going on because then there's awareness about it and people can see. I mean, I know that people are like, oh shit, this is awareness maybe in a bad way to get people to come to their church, but it's not like it's Satan. They don't worship Satan. It's if somebody's going to join a Scientology, they're going to see first of all how expensive it is. And second of all, I don't know. That would be their own journey then. Same with Christianity. It's they drive by a church every day. You don't think that they're going to join if they can. So I don't think that having a housewife that's a certain religion should be banned. I think that actually sounds like that's when you say it out loud, that sounds like that should be illegal, right? Like you can't not hire somebody based on their religion. So I want to see her on there. She seems sassy and she's an amazing, fashion girly. I love fashion. So we'll see what happens. And still hashtag find Shelly Miscavige. Oh God, this is going to be on YouTube, so I'm scared too. Don't come for me, Scientology church. Love you guys. A couple things I've also been watching just before we go. I watched Jersey Shore and got caught up over there. Sam and Ronnie are back filming together. You should go watch that. If you're a Jersey Shore fan, you'll really appreciate seeing the whole crew together and how nostalgic it is for them. I also watched RuPaul, cut all up on that, watched the finale, Nymphia Wind. I actually had seen some spoilers, unfortunately, so I knew that she was going to win, but I really am happy that she did. I really thought that she was an amazing drag queen all season, and loved her as a whole person in and out of drag. So I'm excited for All Stars because I love Vanjie, and Vanjie's going to be on All Stars, and I'm just excited to see her back on my screen. And yeah, that's really, I guess, all I have for you guys this week. But thanks for coming back. Thanks for bearing with me over this break that we had. And I'm excited to continue to talk to you every week now going forward, and hopefully getting some guests on here to discuss some of this stuff with me and have a little more discourse for you if you're down for the ride. And if you want to be a part of this, send me an email at bellatalkstv@gmail.com. And please also rate, review, subscribe, leave a comment. Please, any way you can to support me. I really, really love podcasting just from my heart and just as something that I just really love to do for myself. And I'm so happy that anybody would be willing to be here and listen and watch. But thank you again for being here, and make sure again to rate and review. And we will see you again next week. Ciao, Bellas.